Hey guys, it's Lindsay here, Little Helpful Files. So today we are going to be doing my first budget with me video. I'm going to be doing my budget for August, and this is the first time I'm doing a video like this. I've had quite a few requests from you guys, and I just honestly never really set aside the time. Plus I also just wanted to pray on it and make sure that it was the right thing to do, to share this info, but I feel that it definitely is good to help guide you guys and just give you a little inspiration to see how we lay out our budget. Now, this is of course by no means for me to put out there in terms of like this being the best way, the only way, or anything like that. This is just personally what we do and what works for our budget and for our family. So I'm sharing that with you in hopes that it may give you a little bit of guidance or encouragement in terms of how you might look at your budget or your finances for the month. I think the biggest thing is just finding a system that works for you and your family and your budget, and that you know that you can stay consistent with, and that you know that you'll continue to kind of work with it each month. And again, this may change. So I'm gonna stop chatting and take you guys on into the video. I'm gonna flip it around so that way you can see the budget and we'll get into it. All right guys, so this is my first budgeting video. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through what I do. This is gonna be for August. We do get paid bi-weekly and then weekly. But I personally like to see the big picture, and I like to know that we're gonna be good for the month. So what I normally do is I lay out like our monthly budget with what I think we're gonna be getting. And then of course all the expenses that I know we need to pay. And so that usually works the best for us. So for starters, we are going to put in, so the first income is basically combined. So my husband and I and what we make. Now, the second income source I put in, I'm gonna make a note here. This is carryover. So basically we've built up that month ahead budget amount. Okay, so that amount is what I usually try to like make sure I have in, because this is gonna help to cover the like rent or like the expense in that first couple of days before the paycheck comes in. Now, I'm not gonna put anything for bonus income right now because I don't foresee any bonus income. But if we did get anything additional, let's say we like did a yard sale, or we sold some clothes, or you know, whatever additional things or ways we could like hustle, side hustle, I would put that in for bonus income. But I'm not planning that, so we're just gonna put this in here. Okay, now the fixed expenses, this is what I know our bills are going to be. They're not going to change, so I'm just gonna go through and add these. And then so for this bucket I put insurance. This is everything, so like all insurance, right? Like renter's insurance, car insurance, life insurance, all the insurances all together as one bucket. Let's see, water and internet. Our internet just went up. Our electric bill has gone up. I'm sure you guys can all relate. Okay, so we're gonna total this up. Plus 625, 65. Okay, so 2530. Now, that is for like my fixed expenses. Now I will have variable expenses here that are like bills as well, but they change, so we're gonna keep them in the variable expense category. As for debt, I really hope we can get these paid down soon. That is our goal. So we've got 300. Now, just so you know, I'm gonna make a little note here. Okay, so both of these are 0% interest, right? So I know it's a priority for us to pay them down, but that's because we have a time frame when we did the balance transfer. So we're paying more than, you know, what the minimum is. We're paying these to try to get them paid off before we would incur any interest, if that makes sense. All right, so we've got those there. Now, we're gonna come over here. So variable expenses. All right, this is gonna be like definitely interesting to see because our groceries, you know, obviously keep going up and up and up. I am gonna put in here, we'll see how this works out. So 700 is what I'm putting in. That's kind of our goal. Gas, I'm gonna put 350. Gas obviously as well has gone up. So like groceries we were spending, I mean, a couple months ago, it was like about $450. We were trying to do about $100 a week for a family of 4. And gas, we were trying to keep around like 200. But prices have gone up. Plus this summer we have been traveling more. So our gas, we've definitely been spending more than we had been. All right, so subscriptions. So subscriptions, I put in there subscribe and save also. So it's kind of everything all added in together. Whoops, I don't need a dollar sign. My bad. Okay. Tithe at 125. All right, cell phone. I put cell phone in here for variable. It doesn't usually change, but you never know. So I like to put it in there because like it might. It's not like these, well, technically I should have put the electric in variable, but I put it in the most of what it is. But the other ones, like they are always the same. Water service, so this is different. We do get like bottled water jugs delivered. So this is different from like our water bill, right? So we have 2 different ones there. All right, so let's total this up. See where we are. Okay. All right, so what is our next chunk? Our next chunk is going to be savings. Now, actually, I should have put my envelopes. That's okay. Where are we going to put that? Let me add my envelopes here. So I forgot to put my spend envelopes. Now this I kind of break through. This is like other variable spending things, like when we need, how do I put it? Like home items, like toiletries, stuff for the kids. If we go out for activities, adventures, like I have envelopes broken out separate from all of this. So this really should be added in here. So we're gonna just make this, I was gonna put it down in this section, but that is not where it needs to go. All right, so that should be 1980. Okay, so far, all right, should be good because we do want to have carryover. Okay, so we're gonna do auto draft save. So I have a set amount that comes out for each paycheck. So we're gonna set that there, and then we're gonna do mini savings, and then carryover I'm gonna add in so we can do the zero base amount. So now first off, what I wanna do is figure out how much I have left right now. Okay, minus 400. So if I want to have 1,500 saved here, we're going to have 432 there. Okay, so let's add these together. Now, is this exact? No. This, is going to fluctuate. Like I said, my income is weekly. My husband's is bi-weekly. So I just like to do this for the entire month. Plus we have our month ahead carryover cushion, so that covers us for those bills at the beginning. So total income, now 2530 plus 700 plus 1980 plus 2332. Okay, perfect. So zero is what you're looking for. Now, that doesn't mean I have zero money, right? Because I have my carryover here. So I'm accounting for that in the budget, and I always like to have that cushion, like I said, to at least cover, like, for example, rent that comes out. Sometimes I'll try to leave a little extra in there. It just depends. This is also why I started doing like the mini savings and not taking out money to also do the sinking funds, because things up here are getting a little bit tighter, right? So I'm gonna take that pressure off, and I'm still saving. So technically I have like $832 that's going into savings. And that's like the low end. Like this is a low estimate. Hopefully, you know, if we do anything extra for the month, we can throw that towards the mini savings as well. That's why that amount weekly kind of varies and just depends. So it's usually kind of around the $100 mark, but not always. So this is the way that it works for us. Obviously, you guys got to find, you know, what's working, what's right for you. But for me, then I will take this and I plug it into like a calendar and just kind of lay out when each of these come out. And then that way I know that I've got the bills and the expenses covered for the month. And like I said, for me, this is just the best way to do it, to have like that big picture overview. I like to be prepared going into the month. So a lot of these variable expenses, just so I can break it down for you guys the way I do it, like groceries, we move that money over and that is its own separate account, right? And then for all of these, we put this on a card. So we know that a lot of these expenses, like some of these are automatic. So these are all on a card, and what we do is we'll just pay that off then each month. So we're still getting the bonus like rewards points that we can then utilize for the next statement, but we're also keeping track of, you know, kind of what's coming out of that. Yeah, so I hope that that makes sense. Oh, and then if there are things like, for example, if we go out of town, I don't take that then from the gas. I have this auto draft savings that I have a certain amount saved for each category, and I will pull from that. So let's say we like go on vacation, or we call it our vacation budget, but usually, you know, going to see family. So let's say I spend like $300 on that trip in the gas and food. I would take that out of my auto draft savings account to pay, so that way it's not affecting like my monthly budgeted amount. So that has helped a lot as well, so that we don't end up going like way over. I'm constantly pooling and utilizing those sinking funds that are set aside in the savings account for those reasons, for those trips. I have the same for like car registration, so that way when the car registration comes up, and for actually just like car maintenance as well, so like oil changes. So all of that's already in an account, and then we pull from there when we need to pay it. So this just helps to make sure that we know that we have the expenses covered, all the things that are coming out. Obviously, this is what works for us. So I'm just, you know, again, sharing this to give you guys a little bit of insight, a little bit of inspiration on how we do it. And, you know, it might take you a while. Like, to be honest, I've changed what I've done and how I've done it numerous times over the last like almost 2 years now, since I've been doing the cash envelopes and budgeting. And sometimes, you know, you have to change up and just figure out what works for you. It might work for you to do the budget by paycheck method. I tried that, and I kind of do a blend of that, but for me, I just need to have the monthly budget laid out. That is like first and foremost important for me. I still do lay it out in the calendar, similar to the budget by paycheck, because I highlight stuff, but for me, this just is the easiest way. So you all continue to keep on budgeting, keep on saving, especially in this time. I know it can feel daunting, but it is so much better to have the budget and to tell your dollars where to go. You will end up feeling so much more comfortable, less, you know, anxious and stressed. This is why I'm so passionate about this, because it has helped our family tremendously, and I think that it will help you as well. You'll start to see and notice places that you can cut out of your budget, or places where you're spending extra that you really don't need to be. And that money could be that little bit of extra savings that ends up really making a huge impact in the long run. All right. So keep on saving, keep on praying, look to God for all of your guidance on this. Trust in Him. You know, He is going to help, and He is going to provide a way through this. And may God continue to bless you, and I'll see y'all in the next video.